if you want to leave, you can. You can share your insights on the platform that's below here. You can scroll down and you see there are no messages yet, but you can do that. So I will answer some questions in the chat, and if you have an answer after my presentation, you can also put on your microphone and ask me some questions. So I'll just start with the presentation for now. So share my screen. Where is it? There it is. I hope it works. Yes, it works. Okay. So we're going to have a talk about biophilia, the nature within us. I'm a biomimicry architect, and I'm a part of BiomimicryNL, as you can see on my logo here. And I work together with Saskia on several projects. In these times of COVID, I find a lot of interest in biophilia for interior design, because we need more healthy spaces. So my client base is growing on this. And I thought it would be also great for you to have an idea on how to implement biophilia within your own home or office. So biophilia is the love of nature. So bio means life, and philia means love. And humans have always been, sorry? Can you put off your microphone, please? Humans have always been drawn to, dependent on, and fascinated by the natural world. So it's the idea that our fascination and communion with nature stem from an innate, biologically driven need to interact with other forms of life. So as you can see here, this is a pattern of a leaf, and you see the pattern in your hand. It has a lot of similarities, and there are a lot of patterns we can recognize in nature, which make us feel at home. So during this presentation, I'm going to have a few topics just to give it some structure. So I'm going to introduce myself really shortly, then help you find the nature within yourself, how to create healthy spaces with biophilic design, creating nature in space, and I have some takeaways. So of course, this is a Biomimicry Boost Festival, so I would really love to help you find a connection with biomimicry and biophilia. So maybe some of you know this schedule already. It's the essential elements from the Biomimicry Resource Handbook of Dana Baumeister. And mostly biomimicry looks at the emulate part. It's the most popular from this point of view, like the kingfisher and the train and Velcro and the thistle. I don't think I have to explain this to you. You all have an interest in biomimicry, so I think you know these examples. So ethos is the why, and the reconnect is actually linked to biophilic design. So and what is kind of nice, because biophilic design is the love of nature and how to connect with nature. We are nature ourselves, and this helps also to elevate our ethos. So if we know we are nature and the connection is important, we will probably take care of nature better. So if you want to know about the background of biophilia, the theory, it's this book about from Edward E.O. Wilson, and he has done a study and wanted to prove how our relationship with nature is beneficial for our body and our mind. So if you want to go deeper into theory, this is one of the things you could look at. Now, short about me. So the nature within me as an architect. This is my direct connection with nature all of the day, my daily connection with nature. This is my cat Latte. And well, there's a growing research on how actually the connection with our pets benefits our health. There's a lot of research on this, and one of the things is that the connection with our pets can heal our bodies. So the American Heart Association stated that owning a pet might be associated with lower heart disease, risk of heart disease. It reduces stress, and for example, if you have a purring cat on your lap, it is instantly relaxing. Or maybe if you have a dog, you have to have some physical activity walking the dog. So this is directly related to a lower risk of heart disease. The other thing is that the connection to pets can help your emotions. So they are living creatures with whom we have a deep, meaningful relationship. I think everyone loves their pet. And at times we feel less connected to people and more connected to your pet. So your pet is always happy when you come home, and it doesn't judge you. So this feels comfortable for us. Pets also help to connect us to each other, because, for example, I have an Instagram account for my cat. So there are a lot of cat movies all over the world, and people like to share their pets. But also, if you go outside and have a chat with a fellow dog lover, for example, this has less. It makes it easier to contact people. So when I was small, this is actually a cartoon that really relates to me. So, and I think to a lot of you too. It says, maybe it's pretty, but how can I carry my frog and worms in a dress with no pockets? So as a kid, we have a strong relationship with nature. And for me, this, I'm giving you an example. For me, this was when I went to my grandma and grandpa, and I found a frog in the yard, a toad actually, and I was completely biologized with this. I put it in my pocket and took it home, and placed it in the drawer of my nightstand. And at night when I was awake, I would put on the light and just look at it, just being mesmerized by this creature there. Of course, the following morning I felt a little bit guilty, and I thought, okay, maybe you will not survive in my drawer. So I told my mom, and we put it back into nature. But these kind of things, that you are completely fascinated by nature and want to study it, this is what I think is the biophilic link, and also what makes me want to do biomimicry. So if you look into the 3.8 billion years of research and development of nature, you can get mesmerized every time. You can be a kid again. So my office is called Vrij Architecten. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be a veterinarian or an architect. And I was drawing all the time. So I thought, okay, being an architect is a good path for me. But within architecture, I think architecture is a technical skin, and you see that it's this. You have actually three skins. So you have the skin of your own body, your physical skin. Then you have your clothes. Those are the protective skin of your skin. And then you have the skin of the facade of the building, which protects you. In architecture, as a technical discipline, I think all technical disciplines come closer to the body. For example, your phone is actually an extension of your hand. So I think architecture will come closer to the body too. And this was why I initially started to be interested in biomimicry. And essentially biophilia, because of the sensory part of this. Now I'm very happy to be able to bring nature and architecture together. So this was enough about me. Now about you, the nature within us. I'm just wondering if you think of an environment right now which you are very happy in. So just think about a place where you would love to be right now, somewhere. Just give you a short minute. Maybe keep your microphones off. Well, I think almost all of you have placed yourself in a place in nature. Every time I ask is when I give a lecture or a workshop or whatever. I'm not even saying that I didn't say you have to pick a natural environment. You could have picked your bedroom or whatever, or your office. But usually if people think about a place where they can relax and be what's their most fond memory of being in an environment, it's usually nature. So one of the things I think this is also the nature within us. So the Japanese have an idea of that this is really important to you, and they have a thing called forest bathing, Shinrin-yuku. So forest bathing is actually taking a spa into the forest, a visit into the forest for relaxation and to improve yourself, your health. So when you live in a city, you have a lot of stimulants, a lot of all your buttons are pressed. You have overstimulation of your senses, and these are not the natural stimulation of your senses. So this is kind of stressful for you. So when you go into a forest and you close up your senses. So when you go into a forest, there are, actually this speaks to a different way to your senses. So you can recover from mental fatigue, your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure is reduced, and you have lower anxiety when you go into a forest. So I think most of you also now during COVID times love to take a walk outside and just be in nature, and because it's the idea of being more healthy, relaxed, and this forest bathing actually helps you to be more comfortable. So one of the other things that I thought was very interesting within the nature within us was our love for small animals, for babies. So of course they are very cute, but why are they cute? So it actually gives them, the researchers think, it gives them an evolutionary advantage. So the chance of survival is bigger if we think they are cute. So our love for nature helps them to be alive, or helps us to be more conducive to life. So we are mammals, of course, and we are attracted to babies, and these are baby animals. And this love is actually transcending species. So we don't only love our babies, we also love animal babies. And this is because they have like smaller paws, feet, hands, ears, stuff like that. They have big eyes and a big head. And this is the way nature helps us recognize babies in general. And if we think they're cute, we will probably be less stimulated to kill them. So this is actually the nature within us. So how we relate to nature with our bodies and our minds. So creating healthy spaces, how do we do this with biophilic design? There is a company called Terrapin who actually did the economics of biophilia. So if you want to sell this to a company, you have to have proof that this actually works. So they did some research on this. And as you can see, well, in a natural environment in schools, it can be part of education. So you can teach children what kind of plants you have here, or what kind of benefits these plants have. And next to that, you see a wolf with a small wolf, a puppy in the blue area. But what they found out is if kids go to 20 to 60% faster through their curriculum when they learn in an environment with a lot of daylight. So as you can see here, there's a lot of daylight relationship with nature. It tends to have to make you focus more, actually be smarter, because you are living in complex systems. And daylight gives you more concentration. So also, I know for us in the Netherlands, our healthcare system is really into biophilic design. All of our hospitals have natural materials or images related to nature, or big windows looking outside. This is really a focus. For example, if I'm at the dentist office and like this image here, I look at the ceiling, I can see a forest or clouds, a sky with clouds and some sun. This gives you less experience of pain. It gives you less stress. And when you look at this, what Terrapin found out is when you have a room with a view on nature, when you're in hospital, you spend 8.5% less time there. So I think that's a really big financial benefit for the hospital and for the people, of course. So these are examples of interface, the flooring, maybe you know them, also from the tactiles, the gecko-inspired glue, little glue patches. When you look at an office and you have a relationship with nature, 10% of the absence of employees is due to architecture without the connection to nature. So if you want healthy employees and really relate them to the office, it's better to have natural elements in your office. So for creating healthy spaces, now, well, I thought COVID was a pretty interesting topic to also tackle here. COVID is airborne, but it's also transmitted by your hands, for example, by touching it. And what we now have is a big focus on healthy spaces with ventilation and on mechanical ventilation. So the more mechanical ventilation, the better, because then you suck out the virus and put it into the environment where it's less able to survive. But what we actually forget is that we have to clean this mechanical ventilation once in a while. I'm not sure how many people have houses with, if you have a house from after, I think, 2000, here in the Netherlands, you probably have mechanical ventilation. And I don't know if anyone ever cleans this, but this is like a really big problem for the long term, because if you look at the right, this is how these ventilation systems look from the inside. So, and especially with trying to get more heat also from the air that you blow out, you want to have the heat exchange for the air that comes in. I think it's pretty risky to have these dirty ventilation systems. But with biophilic design, I think there are some several options how we can solve this. So natural ventilation, I think this is really underestimated in the building world. I think we should have a good look at this, because the regulations now in the building world say natural ventilation, it makes it almost impossible to have natural ventilation, because you make a big gap and people want to have like the house completely sealed off from air. So the heat will stay inside. But with keeping the heat inside, you also keep the contaminated air inside. And you see that a lot of schools actually now have the most polluted indoor quality air that there is. So not good for concentration, not good for your health. So I really want to make a statement that we should look at natural ventilation. Another thing we can do for preventing COVID is natural antibacterial properties. I think everyone knows a wooden chopping board, and maybe you don't even know why you use a wooden chopping board, why they are made of wood. This is because this wood has properties, well, just chemical properties, natural properties that kill bacteria. So instead of making a steel hand gliding part for your stairs, why not make a wood one? And preferably not a painted one, but just really one made of beech, for example. This would kill bacteria instantly, and I think it would prevent getting us COVID or transmit it. So a few things about creating healthy spaces and how do we create nature in space. So biophilic design. This is actually how you can do it yourself. So I'm giving you some ideas and tools on how to do make your own biophilic interiors. So these are 14 patterns, and you can use them all or some of them. But usually, if you use one, you also use another one. So these are all related to each other. They're nature in space, natural analogs, and characteristics of space. So I'm just gonna point out a few of them, maybe some that I thought that were pretty interesting, and I have some projects that I can help you explain them with. So the first one is dynamic and diffuse light. So I did an interior for Chateau La Trousse, and what I really wanted to do, because there are really nice big windows there, I want to bring in light as much as possible. So what I did using dynamic and diffuse light, so the light from outside is actually dynamic because it changes over time, and making it diffuse is with this white curtain. So if the light falls on these white curtains, it's more diffuse, and it helps you not having those really black and white shadows. So it's getting more a comfortable light. Then connection with the natural system. So you have like the weather outside is a natural system, or the daylight, how the day works from morning to evening, the sunrise, but also season changes is a connection with natural systems. And another one, a material connection with nature, is, for example, I've used a wooden floor. This gives warmth and a pleasure. So most of the interior is white, so the wooden floor is really standing out. I'm just explaining, like for this design, that there are multiple patterns you can find here, and in the other projects I will just keep it with one. So for example, here nature. This is again the interior in La Trousse, and this has light everywhere from above. So this is also dynamic and diffuse light. The material connection with nature through this light is rattan light, and refuge, because all the light comes from above. So it creates, like, this is the bedroom, a safe space. Another thing I did with light was I helped Signify, that used to be Philips, develop this Nature Connect. And this is actually a daylight, but it's for offices that have not enough natural light, and they can place this artificial daylight within their offices, and it has like all of the benefits that natural light has. So also the spectrum of light, and also the dynamics of the natural light. It's nice. This is a really nice film, but I have too short of time to explain this to you. So connection with natural systems, that's another one. So I explained that before, like connection to seasonal change. What I did here is, for the interior, for the Abdij van Berne, remove the curtains. So they have a big, gorgeous garden, and they were blocked out of this garden because there were all curtains there, and I just removed the curtains. Of course, I did the rest of the interior too, but that already helps to. So sometimes you don't have to add things, but you can also remove things. So biomorphic forms and patterns. For example, what I did with these honeycomb is actually create a facade. This is called a flexagon. And I relate, this is also a honeycomb shape, so it's material efficient and also relates to our human nature. And as you can see here, I have one of the elements is a biomimicry element, and this is related to the hygroscopic functioning of a pine cone. And I'll show you a short movie of this. So this is actually how a pine cone works when it dries out. I think you've probably seen this before. So it opens up. And this is actually how it works within the facade. So if you spray it, it opens naturally. And if you let it dry, it closes. And this is actually an element for shading the sun in a natural way, just using sunlight. This is an idea of where this is my Biomimicry Academy, where I applied this facade. You can also have green elements in it. So the material connection with nature is like, I did this interior in Amsterdam. You have this moss circle. This is also placed in the kitchen, and moss is not only referring to nature, but it's also cleaning the air. So especially for in a kitchen, this is really good because there's a lot of fine dust in the kitchen when you cook. I use some natural wood here, natural local wood from a beech tree, and then also the black is as a natural coating. And I use some rattan, handmade rattan shelves. My client was Asian, so I used bamboo also for his bathroom. I used cork also as sound insulation for the stairways and some droplet-related lights. And for mystery, I thought this was a good one. For a shop interior in Amsterdam, I suggested that they could do this cave-like idea, or maybe also this is a leaf, and this is open. So I projected it behind the stairs, so if someone comes up, you don't really see them. It's kind of a mystery who it is, but you know there is someone walking there. So this is the print, and we're going to laser cut this, and then I have a few takeaways. So for biophilic design takeaways, so we are nature. Please find the nature within you. Try to use biophilic design to create healthy spaces, and to help you, you can use the 14 patterns of biophilic design. So if you want to have more information, this is my website. You can also find me on the website of BiomimicryNL. And this is actually what I wanted to say. So I see there are some questions. I see there's Keanne. Okay, so there are some questions. Well, okay, thanks, Laura. I think actually the session is already gone. So if you have some questions, you can. I see Thomas is typing. Lucy has a question. Any tips for adding biophilic design elements to our workspaces? Yes, you can. It's very easy to have for an employee to just bring in a plant that you really like. So if everyone should do this, there will be a lot of plants, and plants actually purify the air. So this also gives you better concentration. And while working from home, I think maybe bring in a fresh, bring in some fresh flowers, put them in a vase on your working place. So this is actually also a very low-key way to relate to nature a bit more. And I'm not sure for everyone, but I guess having some fresh flowers in house makes me really happy and relaxed. So that would be one of the most easy tips you have. Or also have a workplace where you can look outside. So, for example, I can show you mine.
Lydia, may I ask you to close, because Tamsin's talk is starting already. Sorry about to be so rude, but
no,
thank you so much for your presentation. Everyone, move quickly to Tamsin.
Bye. Alles